Hello again, this is the Cool Geek. In the last video, we have seen what is an object, and we are going to discuss the car object in much more detail for explaining the three major players of our properties, methods, and events. If you have not watched the previous video, please watch that video so that you can continue with this topic. Now, let's consider car as an object, which we have been doing for a long time. Now, more of its properties are nothing but color, model name, diesel or petrol, four-seater, two-seater, left wheel drive, right wheel drive, and many such features. Methods, what can we do with the car? We can drive it, we can wash, we can push it, we can crash the car, and so on. The list goes on. Now, what is an event? An event is nothing but based on the user actions, it's automatically performed. For example, on accident, I put a little airbag picture here. On accident, the airbag of the cars automatically come out. Now, this would never happen if the car did not meet with an accident. So now it would be weird if I knew I was in an accident and I pushed the button for the airbag, right? So basically, it is nothing but based on my stupidity of the accident, the airbags are automatically programmed to help me out there. Similarly, when I close the door, automatically the lights are off. Again, the previous example that we discussed. Now, this is a real world object. Now, how would a object in the Excel VBA world look like? For example, consider a sheet that we are going to use. So I have a workbook with me. This is nothing but an workbook with me, right? I have Excel application and a workbook within the application of Excel, and within the Excel workbook I have few sheets, and we are in currently in the sheet that is called object oriented programming. Now, how do we know this? Obviously, it has a name, it has a property. Let's look at the object as worksheet. Now, as you can see, there is a name for my sheet. So obviously, sheet name is a property for the sheet. Similarly, the position, it's positioned first, second, third, and fourth. Similarly, the tab color for the sheet can be also changed. Right? This is not looking that good. Let's put black. I hope you understand how I am what I'm trying to describe about the properties of a sheet, right? So now, once I understand what the properties of a sheet are, let's see what other properties can we have. I can have the color, name, position. Also, it contains some few cells and some objects within it also. So now, once we understand the properties, let's move on to what we can do with the sheet. What I can do with the sheet, I can move the sheet around, right? I can also move a copy to another sheet. Similarly, I can rename the sheet. Let's rename it to OOP, and many other things. I can also delete a sheet. I can also add a sheet. Now, don't get too confused or too worried about how am I going to use the properties, methods, events. But I will have an example for the properties, methods, and events in the Excel VBA in the virtual world. So I will just rename this back to object oriented programming, and that leaves it how it is. Now, to give you a quick sneak peek on one of the properties example. So get sheet name. I created a small button or small code to get the sheet name that I am currently in. So if I click this, you see it gets me the name, active sheet name, object oriented programming. It's awesome. So I accessed the property of the particular sheet to get me that name. Now, obviously, I will be discussing these things in details. Please watch the next video and where I will be discussing the properties example. Thank you for watching.